Have you ever felt that managing money and building wealth requires you to be perfect with your money all the time? And maybe that thought is so daunting that you sort of give up before you give it a good try? Changing financial habits is hard, just like changing your diet to lose weight is hard. Most people think that to build wealth, you need to be flawless all the time. Well, what if I told you you only needed to be good with your money about 80% of the time and you can still build wealth? Doesn't that sound a lot more doable and a lot less scary? You can think of it like having a cheat day on a diet. Today, I'm going to show you why consistency beats perfection every time and how small daily choices can dramatically change your financial future. Success with money is rarely about one big decision. After all, how often do you buy a car or buy a new house? Those are big financial decisions, but you don't do those very often. What you do every day are the little things. It's, stopping to pick up coffee at the coffee place, all the way up to whether you take leftovers to work, how warm you keep your house in the wintertime. If you really think about it, everything you do all day long, there are different levels of ways you're spending money, whether you use hot water in the washing machine or cold water, whether you shop at Whole Foods or shop at the discount grocery store. I could go on and on because I have studied this. But what I'm talking about are saving all the time, just automating your savings versus doing it when you have enough left over to put in saving. I'm talking about spending intentionally versus spending emotionally. I'm talking about checking your finances on a regular basis versus avoiding them and hoping for the best. It's very easy to compare losing weight with building wealth in that you got to the weight you are because of all of your eating habits and your exercise habits. Your physical self right now is the result of your actions day to day. Everyone can agree with that. Finances, it's the same thing. You are where you are financially because of all the financial decisions you've made to date. I actually took this idea of being good 80% of the time from some health person I saw somewhere. And she said, you don't have to be perfect every day with your food. You just have to be good 80% of the time to get really good benefits. And I thought, yeah, that sounds a lot less scary than give up sugar altogether, give up carbs altogether. Who wants to live like that? But if you say, you can eat the occasional stuff as long as you eat well most of the time. It's a lot more appealing to people and it's something that you can stick with, which is the important thing. Because when we talk about consistency, if I say that you can never buy a coffee outside your house and you should never go to a restaurant and you should never buy yourself a new blouse or something, people are going to think, well, I don't want to live like that either. But if you do the right things most of the time, you can still have a great result. And then the occasional splurge is just that. It's an occasional splurge and you'll appreciate it so much because you don't do it that often anymore. But a lot of people sort of quit before they start. They say, well, I'm in debt. I'm in my 50s. There's no way I can build wealth at this age. So, oh, well, that ship sailed. Having that sort of mindset leads to all or nothing behavior. I might as well buy this thing or go on that weekend trip or do this because I'm already in debt. What does it matter now? Or it leads to guilt. You think, oh, I'm in my 50s and I make good money and I'm really so far behind the eight ball, I don't even know where to start. Or it leads to avoidance. You hear some stories about people that just don't open any of their bills. They have no idea where they stand, like at all. And that's obviously childish and is not going to lead anywhere good. Or it leads to starting and stopping repeatedly. You sign up for the 401k and you say, this is the year I'm fully funding it. And then a month in, you say, oh, I'll cut that back because I'm worried about not having enough to live on month to month. But even financially successful people make mistakes. It happens. Nobody's perfect. But if you do the right thing most of the time, and this is actually something, I saw this quote by Dave Ramsey. He said, success is standing on top of all of your mistakes rather than being buried underneath them. And I love that because, yes, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody, has an investing mistake or they bought a car that was a lemon or they moved someplace they shouldn't have moved. Everyone's done these things. But the way the successful people will succeed is by not repeating these things. But there is power in this idea of doing things right 80% of the time. Think about this. It would be like people say, well, I won't eat out during the week at all. That's just going to be a weekend activity. But 80% good decisions look like this. It's like automating your savings. So that money, because here's a Warren Buffett quote, is you should spend what you have after saving. Most people in our country do the reverse. They save what they can after spending. And you're never going to get ahead if you behave like that. But 80% good decisions look something like having your investments automated through 401k deductions mostly, but hopefully you can save in addition to that. Have money automatically go to a brokerage account or to an IRA on the side. It means managing your spending most of the time. Just make it a habit that you're not going to eat out all the time or you're not going to pick up food all the time. But if people could get their food budgets under control, that would be huge because these days it's not just eating out, it's door dashing and it's protein powders that are very expensive that you have on a subscription. It's so insidious the way all these ways you can spend money. It's really bad, but you need to look at your stuff at the end of the month and say, whoa, that's not good. So one of the great habits you should adopt is to review your finances every month. And just every month you update it. You log into all your accounts and you pull down the balances and you look at it month by month by month. And you can see, am I going in the right direction? It's like stepping on the scale, right? It's the come to Jesus. Where am I after all the decisions I made all month long? 80% consistency over the years beats spurts of perfection all the time because your habits define you. Your financial habits are just those, they're habits you have on how you spend your money. And the good news with that is that you can change those habits and you can pick up habits that will benefit you long term. So what does doing the right thing actually look like? Pay yourself first. We talked about automating those savings, tracking and reviewing your spending on a regular basis. We talked about doing that once a month, investing consistently through your 401k and hopefully in addition to that as well. Avoiding lifestyle creep is huge. One of the biggest mistakes I see people making is that their monthly costs, their fixed costs are just so high. There isn't a lot left over to save, and that's not good. You don't want to, so many people, I know people like this. Oh, I deserve this nice car because of my position in life. And not only do those fancy cars cost more to buy, they cost a lot more to insure and a lot more to operate and a lot more to repair. It's also really important to have an emergency fund. I suggest you implement rules for yourself around spending. So if something, if you're scrolling on Instagram at night, and you see something that you want, you say, okay, screenshot, wait a day, give it some more thought, see if I still want it. And maybe those rules are based on the amount of money. If it's under $100, I'll wait 3 days. If it's over $100, I'll wait a month and see if I still think I need this thing. It does cut down a lot because I implemented that in my own life and it worked. Unsubscribing from marketing emails. Don't sign up for the text alerts, even if you get 20% off, because they do that because they know they'll get repeat business from you. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect with my money. I still make mistakes here and there, and I kick myself later because I should know better at this age. But depending on how far you have to go to hit your goals, you may have to work harder. So like someone who's 100 pounds overweight, they're not going to get to their fit state in a month. It's just not going to happen. If you have a lot of credit card debt, you're not going to get to where you want to be in a month. It will take time. But this is a Mel Robbins quote. She said, you can change your life with one decision. Now, the results may not happen automatically, but if you make the decision, I'm 50. I'm getting my financial house in order. From here on out, that's how I'm going to live my life. You have to figure out, who do I want to be? And you start to be that person even before you're not that person. At this point in our lives, when we're in our 40s, 50s, 60s, we are closer to the end of our careers than at the beginning of our careers. We are, in good news, making the most money we've ever made. So that is the tool we have to work with, is your income. While you still have the income coming in, it's so important to save as hard as you can because you don't have the option to save a lot in the future when you're not working anymore. And I will say, again, that you don't always get to choose when you stop working. There are a lot of factors that can contribute to you not working as long as you'd hoped. I mean, some people think, I love my job. I love what I do. I don't want to stop working. And that's great, but it may not be up to you. Whether it's AI or whether it's your company shutting down. And then again, when you're older, it's harder to find that next job. You become ill, you become disabled, or your child becomes disabled. A lot of things can happen. We have less time to waste. We have less time to sock all the money away that we should sock away. And if you're 50 years old and you make about 150 a year, your net worth should be right around $1 million at this point. And does that include your equity in your home? Well, yes and no. I mean, equity in your home is fantastic, but you can't pull it out and use it unless you sell and move somewhere else, which is an option. There is still time to change your ways and to build a lot of wealth, but you have to decide that that's what you want to do. And I beg you to do it, because 10 years from now, you will not look back and say, gosh, I wish I spent more money on Botox, hair extensions, a fancy car, things that won't be in your life anymore. And that's what I think wealthy people do differently. They think about their balance sheets more than their income statements, meaning they focus on growing their assets rather than, the month to month stuff. And of course, I know the P&L flows into the balance sheet. You need to focus on things long term. Wealthy people don't waste money. They really don't. So buying things that just go down in value, Botox things that last 6, 8 weeks, whatever it is. Why would you spend, I don't even know how much it costs, but a lot of money. But if you do it a few times a year and you're spending $3,000, $5,000 a year on Botox, is that really something you should be doing? That's just my 2 cents. You need to take care of you first and foremost. You don't want to have to rely on the government. You don't want to have to rely on your children. And if you make good money, there's really, frankly, no excuse for you not to save and make the right decision. You don't need to be perfect to build wealth. You just need to be future focused. Think of your end goal, which is a decent retirement, one that you can live with security and dignity. You just need to be consistent most of the time. Every smart decision that you make builds momentum, and you are building new habits that are better for you in the long run. Your future is shaped by these repeated small choices. I have a midlife debt detox toolkit, which is $17 and has a debt snowball spreadsheet as the main product. And you can figure out exactly how quickly you can pay off your debt and start building wealth for yourself. I'm on your side. I want you to build wealth. I want you to have a fantastic future, but I want you to take your money seriously.